nature. Could see me as a threat to humanity, you're the savior. Made under perfect duality, check the flavor. Halo on my head with the baddest of behavior. Now you can't ignore the laws of nature. Could see me as a threat to humanity, you're the savior. Made under perfect duality, check the flavor. Halo on my head with the baddest of behavior. Now you can't ignore the laws of nature. I bring a message from the heavens like 11:11, but no reverend. I'm chilling, smoking weed with my brethren. God body like number 7, a manifestation of the Almighty, but I'm not heaven. Said you can't get blood from a stone, but I bled them. Demons behead them. You done the opposite and fed them. That's all downhill like you're sledding. Now you dread.
Hello and welcome. It's now time for the next part of my content to my channel. I am Geezy333. It's only been a few months since my first video and I've had a great response. Thank you. It promotes motivation to continue. So we have went over both Taoism and Hermetics, its roots and the wonder of its roots connected to ancient Egypt. We linked all modern day religions and creeds back to that point. The conclusions were mouth-dropping. This taught us briefly but clearly how things work, this helping us immensely in life if put into practice. However, many a dark paradox remains. How is the best way of translating the meaning of the word Tao? The more and more you work with Tao, the more and more you will see how things happen. As many of us are flowing practitioners of both Hermeticism and/or Taoism, as am I. But for those just beginning the journey, may I suggest you begin listening to both my content on Taoism and Hermetics. This will shed much light on this very exciting journey. Remember, all in the mind, therefore repetition is the way of obtaining the key to mind mastery. We should learn to see things left and right, up and down, and inside out. Understanding how things work, how things happen is an essential viewpoint of knowledge that every human should be taught from birth. True natural law is blind, it's invisible. Various religious sects have always known of the natural laws of nature. But what they chose to withhold, suppress this wisdom from the masses, from us all. With this knowledge they had and kept to themselves, they constructed puzzling metaphorical books of Christ, a great Father above, watching us all. Therefore any violation individual caused, which result in God's wrath. As in most biblical literature, one must fear the wrath of God. That's basically to save the world. Entrance, the stories, the striking fear into man, a way of policing without the police, if you like. Best constructed, many variations of multiple religions, deceiving us for thousands of years. No, a lot of us know of the laws of nature, some of us do not. And the rest are aware of the laws of nature but dismiss them as nonsense. These people are often theoretical and have an intricate view on reality. These people are very hard to work with. Those who are aware of the laws of nature and practice a way of life if in accordance to them know the true law is blind. And judgment is even-handed. The consequences of your actions are inescapable. Being human is no excuse. The rhythm of the pendulum forever swings, as does every cause have its effect, even physics. The first law is for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The same applies in karma. There is absolutely no escape. As the all-seeing eye, the symbol with the eye in the triangle is detecting the very laws I speak of. Of course, symbology can mean different things, and it does put the all-seeing eye as the law. You can run, can hide, the law show always get you. As the late great legend Bob Marley sang to the people in the 70s, you can run, you can hide, but you can't escape yourself. Our biggest nemesis is our minds. Most of us are trapped in there, caring what others think, as your anxiety is endless, forever growing. Things are out of control these days. People care far too much on what others think, stopping, preventing them from expressing themselves. This is very unfortunate and very sad, as we are beings who experienced emotions. Emotions being emotion, energy and motion, meaning when we have this emotion we must let the energy flow through us, as the emotion must be expressed. If not, it is bottled up and nothing but misery can come from this. It must be expressed. So as many of us live in our minds and care far too much for others' opinions of yourself. The only way to solve or overcome this is to practice stop living in the mind and come back to our senses. Can you see how much of a prisoner of your own mind has made you? It's serious. Even common sense seems to escape some of us these days. The world's money, funds, and wealth are unevenly distributed. Some have a great deal, must have very little. But those who have a lot get even more, some even brag about how much they have. Owning a lot of possessions does not come from God, from Tao. People acquire possessions by manipulating other people. Nevertheless, true natural law affects us all and diminishes no one. The light of awareness shines equally, or what is pleasant and what is not pleasant. The principle applies to all of creation. Same principle applies to humans, of course. One man is as worthy as the next. The same law runs throughout nature. That's because we are all one. I understand for some this is very difficult or confusing perhaps to get a grasp of, but everyone can achieve this through practice, as it is possible to share information through words, but it is impossible to share experience of clarity. As we are all one. Like it or not, we are all team players. For those who find it hard to realize we are all one, I can give an example. We have different names, having different names making us think we are separate beings. Once this is recognized, we have been fooled by our names. Having separate names does not make us separate beings. Did you know that atom arrives from the ancient Greek and Latin word for individual? Him. Heart, brain, lungs, eyes, nose, kidneys are all separate names but not separate events. Same applies everywhere. All the time. Forever. Everything comes from within and ripples outwards. So make sure you act from your center. Acting from your center is far more impacting than making an impression. A change of impression leads to a change of expression. The Hermetic principle of polarity is also a vital viewpoint for knowledge in life, in Taoism. It works as life works in cycles and polarities. It can be observed everywhere. Plants, trees, animals, grass, leaves, and so on are first born, then grow until reaching his peak and begins to suddenly decline. This is how things work. Do you know 30% of people favor life over death? Another 30% of people favor death over life, when another 30% of people fear life and death. Meaning 90% of people live in anxiety and fear due to the ignorance of not knowing how cycles and polarities work. Only 10% of people have the knowledge to accept life and death as inseparable and simply enjoy the dance of existence. The practice I should be applied in this instance with the utmost importance is just stay in the presenthood. Look forward, but planning does not work. So why grasp for a future that when your future plans materialize you will just be living for some other false future? So why cling or worry about something that may never happen? Nobody be able to sit back in full contentment and say, I made it. The past, the present, and the future are all happening simultaneously. It's called the now. Most people are living to achieve what? A feeling. A feeling that will fade shortly after it has arrived. People strive for perfection when there is no such thing as perfection. There is only practice. This must be realized. Also, happiness is a feeling with a polarity, sadness. To ever perfect life, loving in pure happiness, it's far from the truth, far from what will materialize. As I say, happiness is a feeling, not a lifestyle, and there are opposites, sadness, both of which are essential for further human conscious development. Through experience, one will learn that through the sadness becomes awareness, happiness, humbleness. The road to hell was paved with the best intentions. Can you learn to live like the 10% I talk of? Favoring life or death is futile. After all death and decay is everywhere, all the time, always. Enjoy the dance of existence. You're not here to meet up to others' expectations. You must stop that behavior. It injures both work and self. A true student knows that the true nature of the events cannot be captured in words, but what cannot be captured in words can be demonstrated. This means you can know Tao, you can know God. Can you learn to be silent without desires or the need to do something? Silence works, consciousness works, and sheds light on what's happening. It clarifies conflicts and harmonizes the agitated individual. The true student realizes that existence is a single whole. The student is a neutral observer and takes no sides. The student cannot be tempted by offers or threats, money or love or fame, whether gained or lost, do not sway the student from center. Let all students find their own way. Enforcement of rules is coercive, manipulative, and disrupts natural spontaneity. Don't impose rules. Remember, every law creates an outlaw. Rules deprive you or the student from a very vital and creative struggle. If you find yourself feeling low and there is nothing but silence, then simply let your silence grow. Something will emerge. If you can learn to be silent without desire, it begins as a difficult process for some, but do not give up. Let me give you an example. So let's imagine that there is a valley. In the valley there is a pond. Where there are no fears, no stresses or desires, the pond, the water forms a perfect mirror. In this mirror you can see Tao, you can see God and all creation. Go into the valley, be still, and watch the pond. Go as often as you like. Your silence will grow. The pond will never run dry. We will soon understand that there is no separate world, that there without a conscious or subconscious mind nothing comes from without, all things come from within. Consciousness is the one and only reality. Not figuratively but literally. It's essential to know the difference between the conscious and subconscious mind. 5% we use of the conscious brain is personal and selective. Subconscious is impersonal and non-selective and governs 95% of our brain, of our minds. The conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. It is impossible to see anything apart from the contents of one's consciousness. Your world and every detail is your consciousness objectified. So to seek on the outside which you do not feel you are, is to seek in vain. We will never find what we want, but only what we are. The subconscious does not care whether your feeling is of a negative or positive one. It entertains no moral argument or any determination of something you want or do not want. It only accepts what it has received. And it must be expressed. As 95% for mind is governed by the subconscious, sometimes certain skills learned taught can be used to trick the subconscious mind to work our favor. These things shall be discussed at a later date. For now, this concludes my content. The next part of the series shall be uploaded within few days. Thank you for your attention paid. Until the next time, peace and love to you all. Easy 333.